want to start with an opening statement and open it up for questions?
Okay, the off week came at a great time. It was really good for us. A little self-evaluation and try to improve in the areas that we need to improve. Get a little bit of a head start on our opponent, which Colorado. Watched them Saturday night. Real impressive win. The way they won. You look at their offense. They got playmakers. I think it starts with their quarterback. He does a good job of throwing the ball vertically down the field. He can extend plays. That's been very impressive. Throwing to his right and his left. He's got speed at receiver and some playmakers, at the skill position. Defensively, they're aggressive defense. They challenge you. And they got, I guess, 2 NFL coordinators. So, it's going to be a good test for us. Obviously, a big game for us being at home. Real excited for our fan base. It's a really good opportunity for our program. Questions?
You're just kind of more on the opportunity coming up on Saturday. Big new kickoff on Fox is coming to campus. Just how big of an opportunity is that to showcase UCF?
Yeah, we're a young Power 4 team. It's still growing, so it's a great opportunity for our fan base to show what we're about, and it's a great opportunity for our program too on a national stage. And you just got to seize the moment.
Guess you mentioned Shedeur Sanders, quarterback. You've had experience with him in the past. You actually recruited him, I think, wasn't it, at Auburn? What do you see of him specifically? What do you need to do to maybe limit him his ability to get out of the pocket and make plays with his feet?
Yeah, you got to put pressure on him. There's no doubt. So far, we've not done a great job of putting pressure on quarterbacks when they've thrown it. So we got to do a better job of that. And I think that's going to be a real big key to the game. And the thing about it last week, he took off and used his feet. Made some plays there, but you can just tell he's a veteran guy. You can tell he stays calm, and you can tell he's a smart guy too.
Coach, you mentioned the opportunity to showcase the team from a football perspective, and I know it's you're facing what's in front of you first, and you still got to get the wins. But how big of an impact could this game have leading towards the end of the season when you're campaigning maybe for a playoff spot potentially?
Yeah, like you said, we're just worried about this game. This is a big game. It's the next game, and playing an opponent that is hot. There's no doubt about that. The way they won was really, really impressive. So it's a big game, within its own right. So we're not thinking anything past that.
What can you tell us about the return of John Walker this pass?
He's not going to be available this week. So I'll have more, on that probably next week.
Coach, with so much hype around this game off the field with the big noon kickoff and Colorado, Big 12, how they won, how you guys won your last game, how do you just kind of keep the team focused and just playing football and just putting the ball down and getting the job done?
Yeah, last week was really good. Like I said, we were able to focus on us, and there was a lot of areas that we had to clean up and improve on, really in all 3 phases. So we did that. We also worked on developing some of our younger guys, to be ready. And then, an extra day or 2 against an opponent like this is definitely good. But, our guys they're pretty well focused. They understand. They understand what we're dealing with and what we need to do. We've got a lot of veteran guys that played a lot of football. We've got, really good leadership. You're going to hear from 2 of those guys here in just a second. So, we practiced last night, and they're going about their business. We just need to do a good job, executing in all 3 phases.
At Big 12 Media Day, you said you were a fan of Deion Sanders. What do you admire about him, both as an athlete from his playing days and now as he's becoming a Division I college football coach?
Yeah, when he was playing, he's one of the better players to ever play the game. So, and then, what I admire about him, he does it his way. And, this is a deal where you look at, college football as entertainment, and the juice and the attention he brings to our league, I think is really good. And so he does his way, and I'm an old high school coach. I do it my way. I'm a little bit different too. So, but he has his team playing well, and he's doing a good job.
Coach, you mentioned pressures. UCF has had 1 sack through 3 games. On the counter note, Colorado has allowed 16 sacks through 4 games. Is the expectation to get to Shedeur Sanders?
Well, that's going to be a big key to the game. There's no doubt about it. You let the guy sit back there and have time. He does a good job. As a matter of fact, he does a pretty good job even when he doesn't have time. He'll hang in there, man. Impressive. Watch him on film. He'll hang in there at the last second, take a lick, and deliver the ball, and get back up the next play. And he does a really good job extending plays. Like I said, he can go to his right and his left, and he does a pretty efficient job. You know, there was one play last week, he extended the play and he throws to a guy, and the guy, you know, broke a tackle and went the distance for a touchdown. So you got to do a good job of getting to him and disrupting.
Coach Travis Hunter, one of the best players in the country, talk about the challenge that you guys have on Saturday, defending him, but also seeing him on defense.
Yeah, when you watch them, I mean, he sticks out. I mean, he's the guy that sticks out. He's an elite player. They try to give him the ball on offense, and he does a good job in one-on-one situations. And he's electric when he has the ball in his hands. Defensively, you know, he's a confident guy, and you can see. I mean, he made the play the other night in overtime that forced the fumble. He's just an elite player, and it's really, really impressive to see what he's doing playing that many snaps. I mean, I've not, since I've been in college football, I've not seen it, but you know, he's an elite player.
Coach, you talked about how this is a good showcase for the team. It's also a good showcase for recruiting. I know a lot of the nation's top talent is going to be here. What's this matchup for you in terms of that?
Well, you know, you have the opportunity of your program that's building and all that, and there's certain opportunities you got to seize the moment. We're going to have as good a group of recruiting that's ever been here, and so we got to seize the moment on the field. So our guys understand that, our coaches understand that. And like I said, we're playing a very quality opponent too.
Coach, with the attention that this game has, what kind of atmosphere are you expecting, and how does the support from the community affect you and your team?
Yeah, the atmosphere is going to be as good as it gets. I mean, this place is going to be rocking. There's no doubt. So I know I'm really excited about it. Our players are really excited about it too.
Coach, I have a quick news question that I need to ask just about the tropical storm that we're watching, I guess. I know you guys have been through this before here in Central Florida, but how do you account for that as you look towards Saturday?
Yeah, we're aware of it like you are, and we're going about our business like we're going to be fine. But I've learned since I've been here, you've got to adjust. If we have to adjust, we'll adjust. But right now we're on go, and we're just moving forward like it's going to be played without any issues.
And then I just want to ask a different question now for myself, but I know you started out the season 3-0 as well last year. Same thing this year, and then it took a downturn last year. How do you sort of, from a coach's perspective, ensure that this team doesn't slide the same way and keeps on the upward trajectory?
Yeah, you know, this is a completely different team. We have more experience, and I've said that before. You know, we actually are 1-0 in conference. We weren't that way, you know, last year. And we had a real quality road win, so it's a different year. And you know, that ship sailed. We're not thinking that way. I mean, we got a big game, and we need to take care of business.
Kind of building off of that, I know you had the bye week since the last game, but how much confidence did the team gain from winning that first Big 12 game on the road?
But I think it's how you win is so important to the chemistry and makeup of the team, and the fact that we fought back through major adversity. I mean, now there was so many areas that, you know, we had 3 kicks blocked. I mean, you don't usually win any games with 1 or 2 kicks, much less 3. But our guys overcame that, and so we can carry that and have that in our back pocket the rest of the year.
Coach, there's been so much talk about the hype of this game with Coach Prime and big noon kickoff, and both teams are 3-0, big 12 game. Have the players, from what you've seen, have they understood how big and important this game is? What are they saying in the locker room or in practice right now?
Yeah, they understand how big it is. There's no doubt. But I mean, this is what you build up for and play for. And you know, our guys have that chip on their shoulder. Like I said, we've got to just seize the moment with an opportunity and playing a very quality opponent. You know, it's one of the bigger home games we've had. There's no doubt about that. And when you throw everything from the crowd to the big noon kickoff to the recruits and everything, I mean, it's an opportunity for us as a program.
Gus, you mentioned the block kicks against TCU. When you look back at the film, what was some of the areas that concerned you about that, or is that something that was just maybe a one-time thing, or what can you do maybe to avoid that kind of?
Yeah, well, it better be a one-time thing, you know, and so we've addressed that. There was a couple different issues that led to the different block kicks. We focused really hard. That starts with coaching. I mean, we got to coach the guys better, and so you know, we've addressed that, and we'll see how it carries over. I'm expecting it to carry over real positively.
Hey Coach, you talk about how Travis Hunter is an elite player on both sides of the ball. Can you explain how challenging that is to be able to play almost the entire game?
It's real challenging. I mean, you know, it's hard to play all the snaps on one side of the ball, but, you know, they do a good job with how they go about it. Like I said, he's an elite guy. Like, I mean, he's a special guy. And you watch him on film, he's the best player on the film in all 4 games, you know, and it's not even close. So, yeah, he's an elite guy.
What do you like most about the matchup of your offense against Colorado's defense?
I mean, you know, so far we've been good at running the football. We've been good at vertically throwing the ball down the field when they stack everybody up. I mean, you know, the more quality opponents you play, the more challenging that is. But through 3 games, we've done a good job. And we've done a good job, you know, holding on to the football. I'm talking about with our ones. So the 2s, we got a little sloppy a couple times, but you know, we just got to keep building. They're going to present some different challenges. You know, they're real aggressive. You know, they're gonna man you up quite a bit. You're gonna roll an extra guy down in the box to stop the run, but you know, we got to take what they give us.
You've talked before about how important that fullback tight end position. I saw Randy Pittman led the team for skill guys and snaps. How important is he to this team?
Randy is he's an old school football player, and he's probably one of our best all around football players. He's like a coach on the field, and you know, he can adjust, and he's a physical guy. You know, he's really good at catching the ball too. You know, he's got really everything it takes. So he's very, very important to our offense.
KJ, you mentioned it was banged up during the TCU game. Brandon Adams had the cramping issue at the end of that game. How is their status at the bye week? Is there anybody else that's not available?
No, all of them have practiced. Matter of fact, everybody that practiced, that played last game, they've all practiced. And you know, it was a good week to kind of heal up. That's always good to you know, have. It just happened to be a little earlier in the season than it has been in the past, but that was good for us.
I know we're going to talk to RJ here in a moment. Obviously, one of the top running backs in the country. The stats are proving it out. Just what did you see from him, especially in that TCU game in that second half? Just talk about how he kind of put the team on his shoulders.
Well, he's an elite player in his own right. There's no doubt about that. 2-3 games, he's doing some really special things. And you know, he this spring, this fall camp, you could tell he was different. I mean, he improved from last year, and playing without the ball, playing with the ball, his vision. You know, his explosiveness, strength. I mean, he ran with a mission, with a game on the line, and so you know, he's one of those elite guys in the country also.
Gus, I think you and I spoke about this in the media day in Vegas. You knew Deion obviously growing up and playing as well, but you're a Cowboys fan, is that correct? Or were you Cowboys fans growing up? Is that how you kind of?
Yeah, I was born in Irving, and you know, lived there till I was 6. My parents split up. My dad stayed in the Metroplex, and my mom remarried and we moved to Arkansas. Yeah, I was a big Dallas Cowboys fan back in the day.
What do you remember of Deion, and how similar? You mentioned Travis Hunter. How similar is that kind of what Deion does and what Travis is able to do?
Yeah, I think it's similar. I mean, he played both ways, and you know, best corner in the league. There's no doubt about that. They put him on offense, and he was one of the best receivers too. So there's some similarities.
Coach, touching back a little bit to the TCU game, you have kind of a mantra that there's kind of a football mantra, I should say, that the biggest improvement is between week 1 and week 2. Do you feel like perhaps the biggest improvement in the squad was from the first half of that TCU game into maybe the second half of that game?
You know, I'd say from week 1 to week 2, you know, I think everybody can see Sam Houston's a pretty good team.
Yeah.
Okay, and we did a good job of improving. You know, the challenge is this time of year, the good teams, they continue to improve. You know, and then some of the teams, the first of the year that are doing really well, you know, they have one loss or whatever, and they go off the deep end. And we got it. Our challenge is for us to improve each game. It's hard to do in college football. It's easy to talk about, but that's our challenge. And I think the good thing for us is having that off week. It gave us a chance to really focus on us more than other opponent, which a lot of times you just got to worry about the opponent, and if you have some deficiencies, sometimes you don't have time to address them like you should. So, you know, that's our challenge, and like I said, we're playing a quality opponent, so we'll see.
For a few more?
Kobe Hudson's one of the highest graded players in the country against man coverage. What sort of strides have you seen against in him working, you know, from getting released to the line of scrimmage?
Yeah. And
how important is that for this particular matchup, given the solid defense?
You know, we focused really hard in the spring and fall camp on, you know, the 50-50 balls and contested catches, and he has really answered the bell with that one, and doing a really good job with his route running, strong with the ball. Him and KJ, they have that quarterback receiver thing that is really, really important.
Coach, you mentioned that you wouldn't really know, you know the team, but you really wouldn't know their heart until they respond to adversity.
Yeah.
What better response than to come back at the end of that TCU game? And how do you expect them to keep responding?
Yeah, no, I mean, we learned a lot. They learned a lot about themselves, and that was really important. And like I said, that we'll be able to carry that in our back pocket if those things present themselves again. I really like the way we responded.
You mentioned Kobe. What more do you need to see from the rest of your wide receivers?
You know, I think all the other receivers are doing a really good job. You know, the unique thing is each game unfolds differently, and they're all capable of making big plays when their numbers called.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thanks, Coach.